Now, talking about show-dressed men, I've got one in front of me now. I'm delighted to welcome Craig Deering to Beverley FM. Good morning, Craig.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm alright, how are you?
I'm not so bad, thank you. Doing good. Nervous, obviously, about this game at lunchtime that's taking place at Hillsborough, which I understand you have a strict appointment to keep to make sure you're observing, shall we say.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it, you know, with a drink in hand.
What do you think?
Close friends, girlfriend, you know.
Oh, is your girlfriend a footy fan?
No, she hates it, but like, I think if we're out and about, you know, she'll enjoy it.
It's the atmosphere as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
How do you think they'll get on?
I think they'll win. Yeah, why not? Come on.
Tough game. Tough game. I mean, I went down to Forest this the other week, and they're making a labour of it. I think at the moment, they need to. There's a
couple of injuries, you know. We need all some of the boys back, and that'll be all right.
Now then, let's get back to music. Now you've got a fantastic guitar sound in front of you. When did you start playing the guitar?
I'd always wanted to play the guitar or learn to play the guitar, and my parents always never wanted to buy me one. I don't know why, maybe they just didn't want the noise, or they thought I wanted an electric guitar and it was going to be really noisy at certain times in the evening. That was inappropriate, but yeah, they finally gave in when I was about 16, and I just basically learnt the bits to get by that I needed, and I've never really tried to do loads of fancy stuff, but it's kind of works for me now, so yeah.
The one thing that people say to you when you talk about learning how to play the guitar is it can take you to a different place. You've got to be so focused on learning the chords and things.
Yeah, it can. I mean, it's a nice therapeutic thing to do. I mean, it's just me and the guitar, and I suppose that sounds like a cliche, I don't know, from singer-songwriters, but it does take you away, and you kind of forget where you are for the second, and that's why, I mean, writing a song through the chords of a guitar and then lyrically, it's a nice process to kind of give you some freedom. Which come first? Is it the chords or the lyrics, or can it be either really? It can be either one of them, because really I might have an idea in my head for something that I thought was a lyric, and I might write it down, and I don't go back to it all the time, but I have sort of rhythm in my head how I want that to sound in a singing way, and then I try and incorporate the guitar around the singing. Or I could do it the other way, where I might come up with something really cool on the guitar and think that has a possibility of going somewhere. Let's try and work in some sort of I don't know, lyrical structures to fit into that guitar melody. So it works either way, yeah. And whereabouts do you get your kind of inspiration for songs? Is it everyday life, watching people, or is it, do you have... People watching was really good one actually. I mean, it's fascinating what you can pick up off people's body language without even speaking to them. And I could have wrote a song about, I think I have wrote a song about somebody that I'd never even met before and was not even relevant within my life. I didn't know the name, and it was like a guy and a girl, and I just wrote a song based on what I thought my opinion of that situation was. I've seen somebody from across the other side of the street. I mean, it's everywhere, inspiration for writing music, I think, in my opinion. And who's been your influences? Who's been the people that you've listened to over the years that kind of you take snippets from, or you think, oh yeah, I like that style of music? There was always a phase when I was younger and I was growing up where you go through that cycle of when you're 16 you listen to that person, when you're 17 you think you're going to move on to the next person, so it'll start with the Beatles because you think that's what you need to be listening to when you're younger, and then you realise oh, it's not the Beatles, it's Dylan, I love Dylan, and then you go, oh, no, actually, why am I listening to Dylan? It's just a load of nonsense and a guy that thinks he's a poet, but he's not. And then, I don't know, I think you just decide to just keep, I don't know, searching and searching and searching until you find everything. And to be honest, I think there's a lot of different influences to me personally, because I'm just so open to it, and I'm so open to music and what it can bring to you or another individual. Sounded
like something coming from Halloween, didn't it? Yeah. Would you play something for us now?
Yeah, of course I would. Right.
Takes a whiskey in the morning just to get me out of bed. It takes a lot more than that to pull me back instead. And I've been going through these hard times, I know that you have too. I just wanna sit in my room and fall in love with you. And I'm dependent, it's the way it seems, and I'm dependent on your warm, loving, tender kiss. And I'm dependent on the way you feel tonight. And no matter what I do, you always come back to me. In this strange world we are living in, and we are living in, and we are living in this strange, strange world we are living in, and we are living in, and we are living in. It takes a pill in the morning just to get me out of bed. It takes a lot more pills to pull me back instead. And I've been going through these hard times, I know that you have too. I just wanna sit in my room and fall in love with you. And I'm dependent, it's the way it seems, and I'm dependent on your warm, loving, tender kiss. And I'm dependent on the way you feel tonight. And no matter what I do, you always come back to me. In this strange world we are living in, and we are living in, and we are living in this strange, strange world we are living in, and we are living in, and we are living in this strange, strange world we are living in, and we are living in, and we are living in this strange, strange world we are living in, and we are living in, and we are living in.
The amazing sound of Craig Deering on Beverley FM, the sound of East Yorkshire. Great piece of music that, Craig. So where did the inspiration come from that one?
There was just a lot going on in my life at the time, and I think the EP that I'd like completely put out there was something to kind of bury a problem that I had personally with myself. I don't know, I was feeling like you come out of college and you kind of lost, and you either go to university or you get a job, and I just got like overwhelmed with life, and an anxious feeling just came over my whole body, and I just, you know what, it took a while to get through it because I was so worried about how I was going to deal with the whole, I'm going from being a child really to being an adult, and I'm out there, and I think it was a coping mechanism to just write this whole EP based around my feelings, and it was almost like a letter, and to burn it and just to like get rid of it and bury it.
I think it's amazing that you use music as your channel, because that some people go to different ways, because it's a big thing to go from childhood to adulthood, and getting your head around all of a sudden the things you took for granted are not quite what you would thought they were.
In a really nice way to look at it, it's like almost like if you had been lucky like I have, my parents were really good to me, and you feel like you've had everything handed to you, and you have to just supply for yourself now, and like maybe in the future for somebody else, you know, if you have a child. So it's just, it's a good learning curve, and it was nice.
There's another learning curve in there as well, because all of a sudden you're writing music, you're doing, all of a sudden it's tangible, it's on an EP. How did that feel?
It was, do you know what, it was very like, it was kind of upsetting and a really proud moment to put it out there, and no one really knew the reason why I'd done it, and not that there was like a disagreement of me doing it, but I just never told anybody. I never told anybody what it was about because I never felt it was relevant to explain myself. To anyone that was close to me, they probably know, but to people that obviously just want to come to my gigs and go, oh, that's a good song, it's really catchy, maybe, I don't know, whatever they go home saying it might be rubbish or something, but it's just there and it was out in the open, and I just felt like it was really, I couldn't have been prouder. Like, I was really proud of myself for once, and I want to do it again, and that's what we're leading on to in a couple of months' time. I might be recording some new tracks to put out for the new year, so I'm looking forward to that as well.
How do you find that? You know, obviously you're in front of an audience, you're doing your music in front of people, you're bringing. It's a bit like bringing an artist doing painting, bringing a picture to show people. Yeah. You're suddenly going into, I suppose, into a studio, into your art studio.
Yeah.
You're putting together, and then again you just demonstrate the difference between working in front of an audience and then working in a studio. How do you find that?
They're both really wonderful experiences because they've both got something in common, but they're both vastly different. Being in front of an audience could be quite, I don't know, worrying to some people, and they might get nervous, and like, I'm not saying I do because it's natural to feel like that, but going in a studio where there's nobody there, the pressure is still the same, because for yourself you really want to impress yourself. I think impressing yourself and knowing that you're pushing yourself to wherever you can go and like better standards to what you thought you could have done in the first place is something that everybody should strive for. And then it's equally the same like pressure when you go live. It's like, oh God, I've just recorded all these songs now, they're out there and people are expecting them to be somewhat like the recording or sound like the recording, and yeah, the pressure's, it's a good pressure, I think. Yeah, you need it. I
take it I mean, it's quite obvious you enjoy that as well, you know, that kind of
stuff. Yeah, I suppose it's an adrenaline.
Yes.
Rush to an extent, but it's also like you've worked so hard, and like you kind of, if you try and think to where you've come from and what you've done to get to where you are.
All I desire is you, and I don't know what it is I should do. Should I tell you and get it out of the way, or should I tell you and then my dreams disappear? And I don't know what to do. And all alone is me, and all alone is all I will ever be. And I've been holding on to the memories of us, so all alone I will be. I saw a picture of your face. It made me lose control. I went off into space. If I tell you, would my dreams disappear? And if I tell you, would you just reappear? And I don't know what to do. All alone is me, and all alone is all I will ever be. And I've been holding on to the memories of us, all alone I will be. And all alone I will stay.
The Sound of East Yorkshire, Beverley FM with Craig Deering.